Hi everyone, welcome back to my floss tube. My name is Rachel, this is Lemonade Stitching, and today we are talking all about my 2025 plans. So it is currently the end of December and I have been kind of planning for 2025 a little bit for the past few months, just kind of gathering what I want to work on, what I want to make sure I start next year, what I want to finish next year, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of share that with you guys, and maybe you could share down below what you are planning to start and or finish next year. But basically I have this broken up into charts I want to start, charts I want to finish, and then just another kind of goal or two that I have for myself in 2025. So I thought we'd jump in with the charts first. I have several of them to show you. Some of them are kitted up already. Some of them are charts I also need to buy next year, but that's fine, doesn't matter. But I thought I would just kind of jump in from the beginning. So the first chart I am going to be starting next year is Baldaquin Birdies. This is the 2025 Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. I bought this immediately when Jacob released it because I love it. I think it's going to be such a fun stitch, and I have already kitted this up. I'm going to be stitching it on 40 count flax, which is just a basic linen from Zweigart, and I'm also going to be using Gentle Arts Witching Hour for my floss. So I will hold this up so you can see it. It is a lot of floss, but Witching Hour is just a really pretty dark, like brown slash purple. I hope you can kind of see a good representation of the color here. Flax is pretty tan, and I just think this is gonna pop and be neutral so that I can hang it up no matter where, like how I decorate my home in the future, if we move, whatever it is. I think I'll be able to find some place for this because I definitely want to have this on display. If I'm going to be spending all year working on it, I want it to be loud and proud and in everyone's face when they come over. The next planned start I have for next year is actually a start that I'm doing with Bridget, the museum stitcher, and we are going to be stitching My Heart's Design by Blackbird Designs. So if you haven't seen this, it is a sweet little heart slash floral sampler from Blackbird, and it is a part of their Loose Feathers Abecedarian series, which I just was able to get the whole series off of eBay recently, and so this is the first one that I'm going to be stitching, and it's actually only 2,500 stitches, or just under 2,500 stitches. I was expecting it to be way bigger, but I'm excited that it's pretty small. So we are going to be starting this February 1st, so if anyone is interested, join in with us, start it with us, tag us in your photos. I don't think we have like a formal hashtag or anything that we've decided to use, but we are going to be changing this up and doing it more pink toned. Right now the picture is very blue and gray, but if you pull the flosses, they're very dusty greens. So we are changing it. I don't know if Bridget's going to be doing the same colors as I chose, but I was originally going to kit up the called for, but now I think I'm going to do my own conversion. So I'm not completely set on the colors yet. I reserve the right to change my mind on these, but this is what I'm thinking right now, and then if I change my mind, you'll find out in February. So as of right now, I have pulled Cypress by Fiber on a Whim, which, depending on the light, always looks different, but it's kind of brown, kind of green, kind of purplish. Like, it really takes on whatever color it wants. I don't know if this will help get the color right, but then I have just picked a couple of pink flosses, a couple of brown, and another dusty green. So I have Chai from Classic Colorworks, Cinnamon Toast, Sunkissed, which are my three like pinks that I have, and then I have Weeks Dye Works Chestnut, Gentle Arts Maple for my two browns, and Classic Colorworks Poblano Pepper. So let me hold these up. I'm not good at holding up flosses, as you can tell, but I want you to be able to see them all. So this is what I'm working with. Those are all the colors together, and I've kind of written down a game plan of where I think the color should go, but again, I'm not completely sold yet, so I might change this up, and you'll just have to wait for February to see what ends up happening. But because this chart is so small, we are setting a goal for ourselves to finish it in the month of February. Like I said, it's only 2,500 stitches, not very many at all. That's less than 100 a day in the month of February, so I think this is definitely doable. So I guess the goal for this one is to start and finish it next year. My next star is actually going to be May from Crocette a Gogo. This is part of her Window of Time or Window in Time series. And it is this one here with the little fox and the yellow house. And this is one of 2 that I have left to stitch, and then I will have stitched the whole series. So, it's very cute. I am feeling good about finishing the series, so I think I'm going to try to stitch that one in March or April so that it can be done before May. But honestly, as long as I finish it by the end of May, I think I'll be happy with that. So again, it's this one with the fox. Very, very cute. And I am stitching this on 32 count beautiful beige. I have stitched all of these on the same fabric, and I'll be doing called for-ish / pulling from stash if I don't have the right colors, and keeping pretty true to the cover photo as best I can. So that'll be my 3rd definite start for the year. And then the other one is going to be June. So right next to May, we've got June with these fun little strawberries and a big red house. And I'm hoping Marjorie is going to be hosting the Strawberry Moon Sal again in June of 2025. So that is going to be my planned start for Strawberry Moon Sal. Because like, how can I not? It's so cute. And again, it'll be the last chart that I have to finish from this whole series, and then I will have stitched all 12. So it'll also be on the same 32 count beautiful beige. I'll try to keep it as true to the cover image as possible, but I'll be pulling from stash. But at this point, I think I've really collected most of the threads that she uses in these charts. And if I haven't, I've already kind of assigned conversions from doing the other 10. So I'm not too worried about having good colors, and it's mostly just green and red, and if there's one thing I have a lot of, it's green and red. So I'm not worried about those at all, but those will definitely be started and finished in 2025, and then I will be done with the whole series. I can say that I completed a 12-month series, and I'll never have to stitch it again. These next 2 charts that I want to start are both kitted up, but I don't have specific days that I want to start them. I think it's just going to be kind of whenever I'm in the mood for a start, I have them ready to go. The first one is Cherished Dreams. This is an old leaflet by Paula Vaughn, and it's a Leisure Arts leaflet, and I wonder if it says what year it's from, because it is old. This leaflet is beat up. It was my grandma's, so it's like falling apart. Looks like it's from 1989. So this is Cherished Dreams. It's a gorgeous little like white picket fence with orchids, and I think it's so sweet. I've already stitch fiddled this, so I have the PDF version ready to go in markup so that I can easily stitch it. As for fabric for this chart, I'm actually not 100% sure what I want to stitch on it anymore. So as for fabric for this chart, I'm not 100% sure anymore what I want to stitch it on. I was originally planning to use this taupe blue Ghana that I have left over from another project. It's like the perfect size, I think, to stitch this chart. But I just recently got the second in this series. I think it's just 2. I think there's only 2 that are kind of together. And it is Forgotten Basket. And when I originally decided to do this, I didn't know that there was a second, which now that I'm looking, it's literally on the back of the chart. So silly me for not noticing. But I want to stitch both of them, and I want to have them on the same fabric. So I might change directions with that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look in stash, see what I have. So this was my original pick, just taupe blue Ghana, nice beige background. But if I can't fit them both on here, then I'm going to switch directions and pull something from stash. Just a light neutral. So anyway, that is Cherished Dreams. And let me show you, I have pulled most of the flosses. Yeah, I think I have most of them. And this is kind of the color palette that we're working with. Really, really pretty. I don't think the cover photo does this justice at all. So I just have them in this little bobbin box that I inherited. I was actually just talking to some of my friends about these mini bobbin boxes this morning, and we were talking about how like they're jealous of people who have mini bobbin boxes because they're kind of hard to find now. So if you have bought one of these recently and know where you can readily get one in like 2024, 2025, let us know, please. Let me know in the comments below, because I feel like they're a hot commodity, but everyone who has them, myself included, has just inherited them. So if you have a good place to get mini bobbin boxes, please let me know in the comments. Because I also wouldn't be mad to get more. I think they're great for projects that have a lot of colors, or if you're traveling and you like want to bring some colors with you but not a ton, or if you're someone who like rotates your floss month by month, this could be a nice way to store them. So yeah. So anyway, that's Cherished Dreams, and I don't necessarily need to finish this next year. I don't remember off the top of my head how big the chart is, how many stitches it is, but I do want to get it started. The other chart that I have kitted up, ready to go, just for kind of whenever the mood strikes to have a new start, is Flowers of Rosehall by Rosewood Manor. It's this gorgeous floral sampler, and I'm actually going to be stitching this with the called for Baldaquin silks. I was able to get the chart and the silks on Facebook D-Stash, which I was really lucky, and I've got the silks on bobbins. I don't know if this is like a right thing to do, a wrong thing to do, don't really care. But I have them cut, ready to go, off of the spools. They're so pretty, but I'm also kind of scared to start because I don't want to mess it up and like ruin the silks. But those are the colors, and I have pulled, I actually have no idea what fabric this is. Well, it's a warm neutral, I know that, but I don't have the sticker in here, so I need to go through. I think I know, I was just looking at my fabric stash the other day, and I have an empty bag, but like with a sticker on it, but I can't remember, so like I'm sure that's what this is, but I don't remember what the name is. But this is the colors together, just a really warm, light neutral, and I think they look really nice. So that is my plan for this start, just kind of whenever I need a start. This one and Cherished Dreams, I probably want to start before summer, definitely before the fall, because they're both, you know, big floral spring charts. So I don't necessarily want to wait till like September, because I'm probably not going to start them after September, but I don't have like a set time that it needs to be started by. I have two other charts in stash that I have not kitted up yet that are on my list to kind of kit up and start next year. And the first is actually a set of two. I haven't decided which one I'll do first, but they're called Bathwater and Used Bathwater. And I got these on the freebie table at StitchCon, and they're just these little images. It's like these two girls, and one of them is like in an old wash basin with a gorgeous quilt hanging on a line and a couple of geese. And then the other one is the geese are in the wash basin and the girls are kind of wrapped up in the quilt. And I just think these would be so cute, like hanging in a bathroom stitched together. So I grabbed those, like I said, for free at StitchCon, and I would like to start at least one of them next year. If I finish it, maybe I'll start the other one too. But they do use all the same colors, and they're about the same size. So I think they'll look super cute, finished together in a little bathroom. And they're by Diane Graebner Designs. This is what the thing looks like. And then the other chart is The Bride by Lavender and Lace. I am getting married in October of 2025. I have put this chart on my Christmas list, kind of to be kitted up, but I'm unsure if it will be kitted up for Christmas. So if it's not, no big deal. But I would like to start kitting it up and start stitching it next year. I don't need to have all the beads in order to start stitching it. I really just need some of the floss. I don't even need all of the floss. But I would love to start this and start it in the year that I'm getting married. I hope you can see it okay with the glare. I could take the cover photo out. It's just so gorgeous. And I stitch fiddled this one as well, so I have like a rendering of it on my iPad, and it's stunning. I'm so excited to see what it looks like with the beads. Like, the cover photos just do not do these charts justice at all. Okay, and then I have a couple other charts that maybe just two, that I do not have yet. They're on my wish list, but I'm planning on buying them next year if I don't receive them as gifts before we get there. So one is going to be Turkish Delight. Now, if you haven't seen Turkish Delight, Maddie from Kitty Stitch is stitching it pretty true to the cover photo, and then Bridget from the Museum Stitcher is stitching it. I don't know if she's stitching with the called for or a conversion. I don't remember. You'll have to check out her videos to see which way she's stitching it, but she's stitching it on like a light colored fabric with the called for-ish flosses, and then Maddie's stitching it on the hot pink from the cover photo. So I am in love with Maddie's conversion, so I want to start this for my 2025 birthday start in August of next year. So that is my plan. I'm not going to worry about buying any of the supplies or the chart until like July, but I want to stitch it using her conversion, and hit her up if you're interested because it is absolutely stunning. So Turkish Delight is one chart that I want to buy and kit up next year and start. And then the other one is Black Cherry Tart. This one is by Plum Street Samplers, if I remember correctly. Yep, Plum Street Samplers. And Bridget, Cam from Cam the Stitcher, and Marjorie from Marjorie Made are all stitching or have stitched this at the end of this year, 2024. I think they started in November. And I think at least two of them have already finished it. So I love this chart. Cam got it at StitchCon this past year, and I instantly fell in love with it, so it's been on my list ever since then. I haven't bought the chart yet, so I'm not sure what the called for flosses are, so I haven't made any decisions on if I'm going to be kitting the whole thing up or pulling from stash or what that is going to look like for me, but I definitely think it's a cute little small, and I would love to start it next year. It did not take them long at all, so I'm sure I could start and finish it next year, but that's not like a hard goal. I definitely want to start it. That's my only firm goal for this project. I do have a few whips that I'm currently working on that I definitely want to make sure I have done by the end of 2025. So the first one is going to be Marshmallow World. This is by Heartstring Samplery, and it was a Jingle Ball 2024 exclusive. I started it during the Jingle Ball. It's already going so quick. As of today, I have 20% complete, and I am really looking forward to having this one up as a decoration next winter. So I want to make sure I get that done. Second is going to be The Light Upon the Lawn from Blackbird Designs. This is from the For the Birds series by Blackbird, and I started this one at the beginning of December this year. I'm already 34% complete, so this one should be no problem to finish by the end of next year. And the third one that I want to make sure I finish is Friendship Gathering, which is another Blackbird chart. It's just like a gorgeous overflowing pot of pink flowers, and I am 52% in this one. If you want to see my most recent progress update on either of these three charts, check out my 2024 Whip Parade, which should already be up and live, and you can kind of see where I'm at, the details, what I'm using to stitch those, but I definitely want to make sure I finish them by the end of 2025 because they're just so good, and they're also my three projects that are closest to a finish stitch-wise, so I don't want to be carrying them into 2026. Two other kind of goals I have for myself is to really use my stash. I really want to pull from stash a lot next year. I want to find ways to use my stash floss, especially my flosses that are like old DMCs that the colorways have changed or it just isn't much of a color left to use it for a whole project. I want to find smaller projects that I can either do like a tail ends type thing where you just kind of use what you have and then switch colors, or just like really tiny smalls where you just need a couple strands and you can put that in and just kind of use up the stash that I've had. I've really been building my stash these last couple of years, especially since I started FlossTube, so I want to make sure I'm being mindful and using what I'm buying and what I have so that I'm not growing my stash to the point where I can't use it all. So that is my first goal, and it kind of takes me into my second goal, which is to do a cross stitch no buy until StitchCon 2024. I have been going bonkers, off the wall crazy with charts, I feel like recently, at least for myself. I usually don't limit myself too much because I'm pretty responsible, I feel like, with buying charts and knowing when I should or shouldn't buy charts, or whether I should wait or whatever it is. But this fall I have just been buying a lot of stuff that I want, especially off of like DStash and eBay, which I'm not mad about. I'm really thankful that I've been able to get all those charts, especially a lot of Blackbird charts. But for 2025, I want to slow down and, like I said, use what I have in stash. I have a lot of great patterns that I want to stitch. I have a lot of big patterns planned to start next year, and I just want to make sure I'm giving all of my whips their time to shine and getting good progress so I can finish them and start more stuff. So I'm going to be doing, hopefully, a cross-stitch no-buy from January 1st through, I think, like the second weekend of June. And then I'll treat myself to a kitted up project at StitchCon. I'll start kitting up my birthday start and kind of see where we're at. And honestly, there might not be much I want to buy at that point because I might be so excited about my whips. But I'm sure by the end of that no-buy there will be another wish list update coming, because I will have so many charts that I couldn't have purchased during that time. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's gonna be hard, but I'm hoping my friends will cheer me along. I know they will. They'll cheer me on, they'll encourage me, and it won't be that hard. I was trying to think of like rules for myself or whatever, but I don't really have any. I think the only thing that wouldn't be included is finishing supplies, because I don't want to like hold myself back from doing FFOs if that's what I'm in the mood to do. So like frames, interfacing, fabric, whatever, I'm not gonna worry about that. And then DMC, I should have plenty of DMC. But if like I run out of a color and I really need it to like finish a project or something, whatever, you know, like it's a $1. It's less than $1, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm not gonna be kitting up anything new or buying any new projects or anything like that, or stash building. And I'm gonna try and hold myself to that. My last hurrah for the year is going to be a trip to Hobby House. I'm going to Rochester right like for Christmas at the end of the year, so I'm gonna be stopping in Hobby House and maybe kitting up one more project. We'll see. Maybe just getting a couple things for stash. I'm gonna kind of take inventory. Maybe I'll buy like a good neutral or something and see if there's anything else that I want or am missing for the projects that I have planned to start. And then I'll hopefully be getting at least a couple of things for Christmas that are cross-stitch related, and that should be plenty to keep me going until StitchCon in June, which I am going to weekend A. I don't know if I've announced that on any of my FlossTube videos, but if you've made it this far, now you get to know I'm going to weekend A of StitchCon 2025. So I guess that's also kind of in the plans. I don't have any other like retreats planned for the year other than the Lindy Stitches virtual retreats. I definitely want to go to Midsummer Stitch again and Jingle Ball again. She is doing a couple other like virtual events, they're kind of every like 3 months next year, every 2 months. So I want to try to go to a couple more of those, but definitely Midsummer and Jingle Ball for sure. And then the other ones will just kind of depend on how the scheduling works out. But anyway, that is everything I have planned for 2025. I think what I have planned I'm going to be able to stick to and definitely start all the things I want to. I don't see myself getting off track from that. Obviously, new things are going to crop up and there will be more charts I want to start, I bet. But for now, this is what we're starting with. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, go check out some of my other FlossTube extras and Flossmas videos that I've been posting throughout the month of December. I've got my whip parade, I've got cross-stitch gifts that I've given, projects that are currently in my project roll, a little cross-stitch house tour. So awesome videos, and please check them out if you're able. And my next regular FlossTube update is going to be right after New Year's with my December wrap up. It'll have all of my 2024 final stats, all the projects I started, finished, how many stitches I got, all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.